Yo, welcome back to Australia and chapter 3 of my ebook, Men and Their Mating Games by Van Paul. Chapter 3 called The Harmless Male. Subtitle, No Tender Petal Shall I Crush. So I finished the chapter 2 by going over a bit about the harmless male and the immature male essence. So the first sentence of this chapter, word for word, is: looks fade, a tight shirt loosens, character strengthens. Well, it should strengthen. So the sign and symptoms of the immature inner man would be physical and violent reaction, or immature violent reactions, and verbal. So balanced emotional speak up is strong, but physical or violent reactions are weak. And like I said before, every man has a challenge of this at some stage in his life. It's a male thing. So harmlessness is your key principle. Reading straight from the ebook here, just brushing over the ebook. Harmlessness is the key principle to look out for, and really, a strong volatile reaction is there for a reason. It's there for protection, for children, and to protect old ladies, old people, children from harm. But it's not there to project at children and women. Wrong way around, Buster. Look, if you filter the man and find, guys, harmlessness is the number one quality, actually. And within that, integrity, honour, respect, self-respect, outward respect emanates. Because, look, if you choose a harmless man, your children won't have to endure, your future children, with your future ex, will not have to endure the abuse. And in spirit, your children will be saying, if you choose a harmless man, your children will be going, in spirit they'll be saying, thank you, Mummy. Thank you for taking so much time in choosing for us a harmless and kind and loving daddy. You've made the wisest choice. But children over the ages have had to endure those heavy-handed, male, violent, abusive traits. Cold discipline. You know these traits. We've all seen it. Whether it's someone we know, someone else we know, someone's husband, boyfriend, on the movies, current affairs, news. You've seen the male traits I'm talking about. So just scrolling down the book, you need to spot it early. Spot the hazard, assess the risk, make the decision. See through to the underlying man. Assert yourself as well. Hopefully you've taken time to see through these character holes I'm talking about. Swiss cheese, baby. So character assessment is one of your most important things to do before, especially hopefully before intimacy, beforehand. Because remember, the oxytocin and the dopamine kick in. And then those hormones can make us attached or addicted to someone who's not healthy for us. They can make us attached and addicted to someone who is healthy for us. So basically, see through them and make a wise choice. And some volatile man can feign integrity and harmlessness. He's not going to abuse you verbally or physically on the first date. Not even the dumbest gorilla would do that. But after 2 years of marriage, 5 years of marriage, you might be down the cafe complaining to your girlfriends, whinging and bagging on your husband, how intimidating he is and threatening. But you're also bagging on your own choices and who you said yes to and who you walk down the aisle with. You're actually bagging on yourself in a way. So watch out for that one. 1 hour of prevention is worth 5 years of purgatory and patch-up courses. Every man has a combination on potential of anything at all. Look, if he stuffs up and sharpens his integrity and self-esteem and ways, that's the best apology of all. That's the sign of a good man. But if that's repetitive, violent, lewd, disrespectful acts, then you've signed up for the wrong deal. And you've got to look at your role in there, but still there's no excuse for a man to be heavy-handed towards you or your children. And in the early days of dating, you do deserve a right to push a button or two. Because if the anger's there, it'll come out. And if it's not there, it won't come out. It just can't. So by playfully pushing a few of his self-esteem, ego buttons, you might see if there's a jilted man underneath. And then your children won't end up jilted, which often happens. That's very likely. So we're not really taught to see character defects. Just scrolling down the book here. And they can be easily hidden. 6 months or more. Easily hidden for 6 months or more. He's not going to say, after 6 months of dating, get me dinner, get me a beer, and be quiet. Biatch. No. So, if you're coming into the dating world and you're a sweet flower, you don't want to be trampled on, put through the furnace, baked and cooked and come out the other end, well, stronger, but you burn. Some say it's a lesson learnt. It's part of who you are, but do you have to go through that? Maybe you do. Only really the hungry wolf's the pleased one. The parents aren't pleased, your friends aren't pleased, your new boyfriends aren't pleased. So character defects are hard to spot, especially if you're not totally street smart and you're dealing with a slipperier snake, which indeed is hard to corner and hard to spot. So I dedicate this book to you, someone's daughter, relative or friend, in the suburbs, about to enter the human zoo, the dating zoo. You weren't taught about this in maths or English or geography, social sciences. So the choices you make have a gravity on your future. I just want to talk about the tribal male just briefly, because the tribal man was less emotionally involved than the female in the tribe. She had to combine foods, tend to the baby, gather, hunt, put things together, cook. So she was more neurologically and emotionally developed than the man who needs to hunt, eat, sleep, a couple of other things. The modern version of that is football, beer, women, sleep. That's the modern version. So, but in a tribe, you had elders, parents, aunties and uncles, all in the same sphere. So if you were violent and disrespectful, you're out. And being excommunicated from the tribe would have been life and death. Actually, would have been almost a death sentence. You're out there by yourself, surviving. Not much chance in the wild, because you haven't got that support, the warmth, the fire. So respect was built into your upbringing, and it was very important. Now, the modern version of that is your role model is your father. You haven't got elders, uncles, aunties all around you. So now if your father has an element of ass, then a weed can grow from that manure, because it's your only role model. And some men I've seen, which is very honourable, they've broken the chain of father woe. But usually, a young man will end up eating tripe sandwiches. He'll just repeat the tripe his father read him on. Now, if you becoming in his focus, that's going to happen to you and then and the children you have with him. So if you see these signs, remove yourself al pronto. So the modern version of a tribal expression is a fist fight over nothing, a burnout, running a red light, acting all tough and manly and intimidating. That's a tribal expression or tribal expression. But like I said, in the early days, if a young man crossed the honour code, oh boy. So in today's society, law is mainly geared for major transactions, assault and etc., where social misdemeanors and misdeeds appear constantly all the time. And over time, you'll see them more. But in the early days of dating, they'll be out of view. Out of view, just for you. So thoughtful of him. Look, if he's not dodgy, he's got nothing to hide. Everything's congruent. He's got nothing to hide. It's all there on the table. So basically, if you have been through a couple of bad choices, and it's common, it's almost a rite of passage. I agree. But if you tried one fruit, this is in the book, say an apple, crunch, and you didn't like that apple, that doesn't mean never to dislike fruits. If you tried one wine, say a Riesling, and it was really dry and sharp, does that mean you don't like all wines? So you just need to grow and evolve if you've been through a few bad situations of these things I'm talking about, or your ex-husband to your children is throwing stuff at you, or go into defense mode and protection mode, but also learn and grow from that bad choice. I'm just going to finish this on, there's a bit more in this chapter that I haven't got time to vlog. Besides the harmless man being amongst your best, it's a good starting point. Still, there's going to be electricity, attraction, other factors, other alignments, but harmlessness is a great start. Is this point here I was going to make is that yes, if about his wit and humour, that was it. Sorry, I just had to do a bit of processing there myself. Yes. Now, wit, humour, top personality, confidence and social dynamics are an attractive quality, but they're actually a doorway to who he is, not actually who he is. So an attractive quality is wit and his humour. But a nicer guy's humour and personality will be insightful, witty, playful, maybe a twist of truth. There'll be some wisdom in his underlying quips. Whereas more of a moron's humour will be harmful, down-putting statements, nastier, smuttier. You get my drift, you would have seen it. Or just plain dumb, cutting at someone's dignity, or suggestive in some way. So I can't cover every angle of a tool sense of humour, but often the down-putting jokes. You'll see them everywhere. Now, if a guy's already got that in his nature, there's an element of him that hasn't grown up, matured, and he doesn't like himself, partly. Doesn't mean he can't evolve. But look for a guy with more of a playful, witty, insightful sense of humour with a sprinkle of wisdom. And move towards that type of guy. Because the guy with the smutty, nasty sense of humour will scare people off. Or they want you to laugh at the nice guy. So he's got no chance. It's the law of the jungle. If you're laughing at the nice guy, a joke about the nice guy from the moron, then you're not going to really so attracted to the nice guy. So it is a sort of like a territorial thing in a way. So you need to hold your value system and your choice system higher, like a light, like the top of a mountain you can aspire to. So if you've made some bad choices, look for a more harmless male. So that's me signing off from my vlog. There's a link to the Amazon where you can buy my book. So you can go through this vlog with me. There's going to be 12 posts, and then I'm going to do some more posts about lifestyle, cooking and health after that. So Van Paul, signing off from Australia. Ciao for now.